We have breaking news for you. A boy's body has washed up in South Puget Sound in Washington State, and it may be of a missing 8-year-old boy that we've talked about this week. The body was found on the shore this afternoon, but we want to stress authorities have not made a positive ID. We do not know if it's little Azriel Carver. Azriel and his mom, 29-year-old Shantina Smiley, disappeared on Saturday. Now, their van was found on a private beach. Investigators say she may have been intoxicated, and her fiancé says she was a recovering alcoholic who had recently relapsed. Here is the fiancé, Robert Simmons, pleading for their safe return.
I love both of them. They're my family, and the rest of the family's hurting. So if you're out there, please help her get home. And I miss her more than you can imagine.
This one had baffled investigators. Joining us to talk about it, back with us, Paula Bloom, clinical psychologist. Leslie Slape's with us as well, reporter, Daily News in Longview, Washington. And joining us as well, Michelle Sagona, investigative journalist. You can always check out more updates on her website, michellesagona.com. Michelle, I'll start with you. Do authorities believe this is little Azriel?
Well, at this point, it is what appears to be a child's body. Now, I did confirm with Lieutenant Mealy that the Thurston County Sheriff's Office, they're on their way up there because now this body was found in Pierce County. It's a considerable distance away because obviously the mom and the son went missing from Thurston County, and this is Fox Island. And by boat, it may not take you very long, but obviously walking or driving will take you a considerable amount of time. This is directly across from Tacoma. It's actually west of Tacoma. And as we talked about yesterday, Mike, the area where they went missing from is a pebble beach, which dips off into a channel that has rough currents.
Okay.
So it can easily take people down there. I also spoke with a spokesperson for the Gig Harbor Fire Department. They were dispatched out there to reports of a body. They did, in fact, find that body, and Tacoma Fire Department is now bringing out their fireboat to see if possibly the mom is in the water or if there's any other evidence or clues out there.
Okay, Leslie Slape, again with us, Daily News in Longview, Washington. Any sign of mom, Shantina Carver, here? Shantina Smiley, excuse me.
Repeat that, please.
Was it so? Still no sign of mom.
That's right. We're just waiting to hear from authorities. At this point, no sign of the mom.
Okay. Leslie? Any update on some of the items that were found near the van? We know there were shoes found, a wine bottle. Any more word on whether or not those items belong to Shantina or not?
The shoe we've heard was hers, and the wine bottle, she had purchased wine, so they're thinking that's the same wine bottle. Okay.
Michelle Sagona, what are authorities saying about those two items and what this could mean to the case?
Well, what authorities have told me, Lieutenant Mealy said that the size 9W shoe does appear to be Shantina's shoe. There was an asthma inhaler and an orange ball. Those two items do, in fact, belong to the child. In addition, the wine bottle definitely goes back to Shantina. She did, in fact, make that purchase earlier on in the evening, around 7:55 p.m. And when they found the wine bottle, about half of the contents were gone. The cap was found screwed on, and obviously it was out there. As far as the water bottles, of course they cannot say it's same with the baseball, but that's the latest as far as those items are concerned. Rob Simmons, the fiancé, did in fact confirm that.
Michelle is again. As we see this sad development in this story, and we wonder about, okay, where is mom? How hard is it going to be to find her body? You mentioned those rough currents.
Yeah, at this point, if this is in fact the child and he did wash up, I would imagine within some time the same thing will happen if that is in fact them, or if the mom is out there at that point. We just don't know. We don't know, if she in fact consumed half of that wine, if she had been drinking earlier in the day, if she maybe wandered out into the water and he wandered after her to maybe try and help her. It's all a mystery at this point. But definitely our thoughts and prayers are with this family.
Oh yeah. Let's bring in Paula Bloom on this. Paula, again, this was a baffling one for investigators. Still is, really, until we find out the answers we're looking for. But what about the behavior of the mom? Here's someone who had battled alcohol, we believe relapsed within the past week. We're finding out she did purchase some alcohol, was going to what I believe is a stressful meeting with a family member. And then we're seeing some erratic behavior. Went to a diner, bought a corn dog for her son, then they left. He doesn't even consume it. What do you make of all that as here we are today?
You know, it just reminds us that addiction is a really serious thing and people's recovery is very precarious. It's just incredible what can happen when somebody who's in recovery is functioning well, something happens, they start drinking and they can't access their logic. They're completely back in the place, and it doesn't take long. Once you've been drinking and you've been in recovery, it doesn't take long to get back down to that place, that very low place. And what happens a lot of times is people, I'm not suggesting this is what's going on with her, but a lot of times people can get very cocky in their recovery.
Leslie, is anybody else talking who had contact with her that night when they were making that drive, whether at the diner, at the market? Anybody else speaking out?
Actually, because I'm covering Cowlitz County, I don't have contact with the people who might have seen her that night. I know that the authorities have talked to a lot of people. What I can shed light on, though, is alcohol. She had a DUI arrest back in 2005 here in Cowlitz County, and she was on deferred prosecution, and that was due to end in just a few weeks.
Yeah,
Michelle, anybody else speaking out about what they witnessed with her behavior, any conversations they had with her?
Just, you know, that diner incident, the folks that saw the odd behavior there when she fell in the parking lot. But what's interesting is that the family, the house that she stopped at around 10 p.m. to make that call to say she was lost, they said that she appeared to be okay and that there was nothing, you know, really out of the ordinary. She was a little shaken up. You know, she was obviously lost at that point. But, you know, they gave her directions and fed the child some pizza, and away they went.
Okay, again, a sad update as a young boy's body has been found washed ashore. Still waiting for a positive ID. It could be little Azriel. We'll keep following it for you. Leslie, Michelle, Paula, guys, thanks so much.